connect with nature?
Well, I have a dog, so I do have to walk her quite a bit, and the variety on walks really helps her, but it really helps me as well. But one of the things that I've done a lot more outdoors of during the pandemic is that I am part of Norton Archers, which is in Stockton, and we have to do a lot of our archery outside now because of social distancing, but also when the weather's nicer, we're always outdoors as well.
Okay. And how does it make you feel and benefit your mental health?
So being outdoors is always beneficial for my mental health anyway, because you've got the vitamin D that comes from being outside, so you've got that, so you're not constrained inside either. You have to interact with other people with our sport of archery, even if it's just from a safety point of view. But particularly with archery, with my mental health, it's stress relief for me. It's almost meditative in a way, because you have to really concentrate on your technique and what you're doing in order to be good at it, as well as making sure that you are safe. So you focus solely on what you're doing and that technique and the physicality of doing it, rather than letting everything rattle around your head.
Yeah, and where's your favourite place that you like to visit and to be out in nature?
I like going to a lot of the local parks. I like going to the beach, so I do like spending time on either Saltburn Beach or at Seal Sands in Hartlepool. Just because they're bigger, wide open areas. But with some of the parks that are near me in Stockton as well, I do like going there just because there's interesting things to look at, and you can go and you can take lots of different paths around, which again can help you with the variety.
Yeah, how important is the nature and environment to you, and why?
Being out in nature, I know that if I don't get the opportunity to go out and do my archery or do walks or anything like that, it can have a really negative impact on my mental health, because it's not taking me out of my own head, and I've got more time to think about things and ruminate on things, and my mental health can get a bit worse when I don't take time to be outside. So like in the darker months, for example, it can get a lot more difficult to be outside. But I think, again, particularly during like the pandemic and lockdowns and things like that, I think you really start to appreciate how much really beautiful natural stuff we've got in our area, and how, again, just like taking notice of that and taking notice of, looking after our environment and looking after our local area doesn't just help you in terms of your mental health, but it can help people out in the community as well.
Yeah, and also, is nature important to everyone's well-being? How do you make sure you take care of the nature and the environment?
So I'm a big advocate of reuse and recycle. So if I do have single-use products, I try and use them as many times as I can before I end up having to recycle them. I really actively recycle as much as I can in my house, and I've got lots of reusable products as well. So I don't use single-use water bottles, I don't use single-use coffee cups or anything like that, so that I'm trying to minimise my impact on the environment as much as I can.
Yeah, and the last one, how do you think nature will link to mental health, and why?
Well, like I've said a lot already, I think if people can take a lot more notice of the stuff that's in their environment, it gets you out of your own head, and it can also, if you're going on walks or you're doing activities with other people, it can also provide you that opportunity to talk to each other and give you that opportunity to talk to people when you might not otherwise have an opportunity to talk to somebody face to face, because talking face to face can be really important with mental health.